Big brands. Once in a while, we're allowed to sell them. Once in a while, you're allowed to like them. It's not a crime, all right? Not a crime to thoroughly enjoy a wine that there's a decent volume of. Once in a while, you have to ask yourself, why do we spend all of our time chasing after these limited production, 150 cases of this, 200 cases of that, at probably twice the price they should be because of their rarity, because of their lack of volume, because of the perceived rarity. Well, you know, one thing I got to hand to the House of Kendall Jackson is these guys do this volume at a quality level that most others don't, straight up. And it's been that way forever, you know, even since the early, even since the Jess Jackson's earliest Chardonnays, along with Jed Steele, even after Randy Ullum took over at KJ, the quality of the wine is always astonishing based on the volume that they have produced on a regular basis. Now, let's talk about the volume. What does volume do? Well, A, you can make a bunch of pretty darn good wine, right, and charge a really fair price because you own most of the vineyards and you have these great contracts. On the other side of the coin, if you decide to make a little less wine, you can make the wine even higher quality. You can work even more diligently with your sourcing. You can even pick out the best vineyards, the smaller vineyards, and you have access to all this stuff. So even after you do that, if something really impresses from somewhere else, you can blend it back in. It gives you power. Gallo has this power. Gallo could crush, the country if it wanted to, right? Gallo could put out $30 Cabernets that tasted like $200 Cabernets if they so chose, right? They choose not to. Although when they first started that program in the early 90s, they did do it and it was pretty amazing. Anyway, I digress. KJ can do the same thing. So that's what we're tasting here with the Crema Sonoma Coast 2 2021 Pinot Noir, right? We are talking about a wine that is made in larger volumes, but a wine made at a really high quality level because A, the folks involved and the situation. Let's get into the wine. 21, great vintage. That helps, right? We're not talking 2020. One important thing here the KJ folks learned, head winemaker Craig McAllister, as well as his assistant winemaker, or the guy kind of doing the heavy lifting, Eric Johansson. The one thing they discovered in 2020 is they went out and picked early because they were really worried about the fires, all right? When they picked early, they got the grapes in and they said to themselves, hey, we really like the cut of the jib of this fruit. We really like how this played out. So they kind of learned that maybe less is more to a certain extent, just like a lot of the more shishi domestic Pinot Noir producers are learning, where they're trying to pick earlier, they're trying to make a French style wine, they're trying to make a balanced wine. And here we have a situation where the folks at La Crema kind of happened onto it semi-accidentally. I mean, again, these guys have serious experience. Eric Johansson worked at William Sellium. He worked at Mount Eden. I mean, this cat knows great wine. He's traveled to Burgundy. So it's not just this situation where we need to churn something out. They really are interested in making something fabulous for the money. And they have with this wine. In 2021, we're talking about a third of it being Russian River Valley. Okay. Another big chunk of it being true Sonoma Coast. Okay, nice, true Sonoma Coast. Another part of it from the Petaluma Gap. So there's a lot of exciting fruit in this wine. Actually about 19% new oak, all French barrels if memory serves. So this wine gets the proper treatment. What I like here is the ease, the crunchiness, the balance, the verticality. Complexity, okay, what's complexity, at this price range? Very difficult to find. You have to pay $70, $80 to get a wine with these layers, with all this clonal thing and this very purposeful use of oak and concrete and what have you, right? Here you're looking for brightness, freshness, core of fruit. You get a wonderful core of red cherry fruit in the center of this wine. Great verticality. In the piece I wrote, it's a bit of like, it's that porch pounder Pinot Noir. We talk about porch pounder white wines, porch pounder Chardonnay. This is porch pounder Pinot Noir. You can crack this any weeknight or on the weekend with some friends over and be like, damn, this is a really, really good bottle of Pinot Noir. Who else felt this way was Wine Spectator, which is, if you already opened the email and seen this, the lead is, this is Wine Spectator's #1 value wine of the year. Now, getting back to it, Spectator actually tastes blind. What a novel concept. A lot of the critics working in America and other places don't taste blind anymore. This wine was actually assessed based upon its merits and not the fact that it came from a larger concern or from a what have you, right? I think the Spectator folks, they know going in, they're doing all Pinot Noirs, probably all Sonoma County, right? And that's about what they know. They taste, I think we call it single blind, huh? And for this wine to come out top after you go all those tastings, and I'm not talking Pinot Noir, I'm talking Cabernet, Chardonnay, the world. This wine came out #1 as their value wine play of the year, which is a huge accolade. To me, almost as important, if not more important, than being the Wine Spectator wine of the year, right? Wine Spectator wine of the year, all the governors are off, right? These guys, up to like $200 a bottle or whatever, right? All the governors are off, where you can just do what you need to do to make a great wine, and boom, here it is. It's here's our special wine, and oh, it's $150. Oh, wine of the year. Here, man, we're dealing with, well, Wine Spectator used the criteria sub 40. This wine's in fact sub 30, and with us, it's sub 25. So one of the greatest Pinot Noir deals of the year, so says Wine Spectator. The #1 wine value of the year, the Crema Sonoma Coast Pinot Noir 2021, $21.98, just so happens a bottle. Amazing value here, guys, get some.